Hello, my name is Deborah. Today we're going to talk about inequality in Australia. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the income in quantity in Australia. So the first thing we should know the meaning of in quantity. So in quantity refers to uneven and income between individuals and groups within the society. For example, in Australia, we have different culture, so different society. And also the meaning of that is so the highest earners and also the lowest earners, so rich and poor. And also we're going to talk about the measuring of income in quantity. So we have the top the top and the bottom. So the top here in Australia is 20%, and the bottom is 60%, and that earns to 18%. And also with the trends is so it's like we're talking about the poor people and the rich people, how they all can be in the middle. And I feel like to talk about in quantity, just to see where we are in Australia. um and the next one is income between Australia and Sweden. So now let's go to Australia. So the top, like the last slide. So on top is 20%, and the highest is 60%. So the average of the highest is, I would say, 5%, and the lower is 20%. And if we compare it to Sweden, as you can see on the slide, so the income in quantity in Sweden is a little bit lower, so 30%. If we go to go and see what happened in 2021, it's just like in the middle of Australia. So we can compare Australia and Sweden, kind of the same as you can see it. And now we're going to talk about the wealth in quantity in Australia. So this refers to unequal and accents and savings and household. The current state of Australia right now is 20%, and not internationally is 64%. And also the world is kind of the same as the Sweden. And I feel like Australia is getting better each year. If we compare it with the decades, long time ago, it was different from now. And the possible reason for that is rising property price. So like to buy a house, and also limit access to wealth. So people, there's some people that they can't work. Disability people, people who in different needs for them to be in that level. And also for example, if we go to tax, so government uh, uh, so government policies and improvement of Australia. As you can see, the tax is the first thing that you can see on this slide. So tax usually um, makes the Australia in quantity in the middle. I would say even if we pay too much, at the same time we're helping people. For example, like single parents, as you can see, single parents, and also people in need. So we're kind of good. And if we compare it with the universal basic income, very perfect. So the government here in Australia, they support people groups and to reduce poverty in Australia. And part B is just financial well-being and household. For example, like how we're talking about the single parents, the focus on this slide is about the single parents and people who work part-time work. That can also be affect them. For example, the income and measure expenses. So, for example, I was raised with a single mom, and I would say, the well-being of that is very important, and also the key insight, is to improve the household remains good, and also to to help with people in need. So I hope the government can help from there. And now is the strategy is affordable housing, as you can see, increasing government support and financial and education. And here is my reference, and thank you so much.